In just a couple of days, Mayor-elect Glenn Jacobs will officially become the new mayor of Knox County. He's already working on his vision for the county by creating 2 new positions.
WBIR 10 News anchor Brandon Bates joins us with what he plans on tackling first. Brandon?
Well, Robin and John, Jacobs says the #1 priority for the Knox County mayor is to create jobs. And to do that, he wants to work on his second priority, which is to create a world-class education system. The third thing he wants to do is turn the tide on the opioid epidemic impacting the county.
Well, hopefully I get out of bed and I come to work and do a good job.
As Knox County Mayor-elect Glenn Jacobs transitions into the city-county building days before he becomes county mayor,
I can't wait to get started.
He's already switching things up with 2 newly created jobs: a diversity manager, a position not yet filled, and a county education liaison, a position that departing state lawmaker Roger Kane is expected to take.
I think if anyone understands education policy, it would be someone like Roger Kane.
The mayor-elect says he hopes to deepen the relationship between the mayor's office and the Board of Education, and this position should help. But school board member Jennifer Owen has openly said she's against the liaison position and fear it would be harder to deal directly with the new mayor. Meanwhile, school board chair Patty Bounds says in part, "I'm glad the incoming mayor, Glenn Jacobs, is putting such a high priority on education. I believe Roger Kane has the qualifications required to develop and serve in this position."
We're really looking at a changing landscape.
The salaries of these new positions add up to over $130,000 a year, and some might argue this grows government, something Jacobs said he was against during his campaign.
As a fiscal conservative, it is very difficult for me to create new positions and increase the county's budget in any area.
Jacobs says that government won't be growing, and they've already found some inefficiencies, and they plan on moving some things around so it all evens out in the end.
And Jacobs told us that he's already working with City Mayor Madeline Rojero, and they plan on making a big positive announcement that will benefit the city very soon. Again, Glenn Jacobs will officially be the Knox County Mayor coming up on Saturday, guys.
All right, Brandon, thank you.